about how you see the evolution of people with the AI upcoming. Have you thought about that, or have you given any thought to that, like what we were talking about before?
Yeah, I work in two business where AI, where the core of the business was AI. So I worked for IBM in the past, Watson Health. They started to implement AI to analyze, to help medical diagnosis. It didn't work out. At the time, even the doctors were scared about AI because they thought that they could lose their jobs. And now I'm working in digital pathology, where artificial intelligence is also going to be applied to the diagnosis of disease. And in this case, there is no way back. AI is really having succeeding. So AI is becoming as good as a doctor making a diagnosis. What is happening in this particular case of digital pathology is that the pathologist is not going to be discarded. You will have less work, but you will be the ultimate responsible to evaluate what the AI has decided. So he is the decision maker in the end. You at least as of today, right? He's still the decision maker. So
Do you
for
think
sure,
people will be satisfied by that kind of job? I would say
yeah, that's another question for sure. I don't know that we don't know.
because we were talking about would people start doing more things in their free time if work frees up, or is that something that you think will lead to people being less productive and just accepting the flow of river more, or how do you see that?
I think that is not just with AI. I think this has to do with the computers in general. You see, there is computers are based in our brain. There is a part of our brain that works a bit like that. But world, uh, people start to have some resistance, I think, towards all this too much informatization of the world, and of our lives. I think it's frustrating. It's not does not bring meaning, and I see people a bit burned out due due to the constant utilization of this technology. Of course, they are excellent. They are fantastic. For instance, we are having this conversation now due to this technology, but that's the silver lining, right? But the other part is quite dark, and we are perhaps too dependent on computers and machines. And all this transformation happened very quickly in 20 years. So humans didn't even have time to adapt. The brain didn't have time to adapt properly the shift, right? So I think that is having a profound impact on the way we live, and people trying to escape and be in contact with nature. I think that is a reaction to the world that we are living. Like trying to find a balance, a compensation is what I think, perhaps.
You think we'll get this balance, or like people?
I hope I hope so, because otherwise you have social unrest, you have disease, you have inability to communicate and cooperate, because we need to be healthy to interact with others and collaborate, right? If we start to feel sick, we isolate, and so it's a cascade. And so I hope that we'll find a balance for sure. Otherwise,
Do you think that, like, for example, you said like this urge for people to go back to nature and to like escape a little bit of this like super digitalization and technologicalization? Like, do you think the companies will listen to the people if the people start like going back to their roots, or will the companies keep getting society more and more like digital, and that you're like
yeah,
pushing a
I
divide
think that is
bigger?
a good question. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the problem. I think you are touching here something that is on the way to tyranny and democracy. I think that we might lose the grip on democracy if these big tech companies that have too much power and start to have too much power and begin even to have too much power over government and so on and so forth. You know, if we don't have strong government, strong regulation to in the end, politics exist to give voice to people, right, and to create organization and functional societies. So I think that if we don't have, and here is the problem, and it's a question of politics. Some right-wing people will say, "Hey, liberalism and stuff." I don't think that it's time for liberalism, like they say, neoliberalism, like because I think that we are in need of strong regulations and a central power that cannot be corrupt, not be corrupt. Need to listen to what is needed to create health in societies, see, and create regulations and policies to control, monopolies and companies that eventually begin to have too much power and can even shape the life of societies.
Yeah, but if it's like a societal thing and they limit the companies that drive our economy, then won't that be like a bit of a will they ever limit the companies that drive?
You know what is the Yeah, I understand, but I think you know what is the problem, and I hear Benjamin speaking that he cannot understand very well in the beginning how money comes and the price of things, and this is an important topic because I think that it begins to be harder and harder to justify economy, the value of money. This does not seem a serious game anymore, so seems like we are speaking about economy and we are speaking about abstract monster that nobody really understands very well what is anymore, you know so
I had
that's
a
the problem.
follow up for what you said before. So you said we're in need of strong regulation. Do you think that's something that AI can provide? So, or how do you see us getting there?
It could be, for instance, blockchain is a nice technology, is a great technology that could put really order and cut corruption in many things, right?
Yeah, it gives back power to the individual a bit.
Yeah. So for sure, I think that AI in the right place is great. The right place, and again, implemented without bias. Because if you have economical interests and you are in control of AI, I have in doubt that you are not going to tweak AI to give you profit. If the game is about money and you are, is a bit right.
Yeah.
So you'll have to have neutral entities that fine tune AI to specific societies and to the needs of specific societies. The need of Portugal is not the same need of China. Societies are different, even regions are different, right? The cultures are different, expectations of people are different. So I think AI can be great as any technology. It's like a knife. You can use a knife to make a salad or make something to eat.
Yeah.
You can kill a person, right? It's the same. It's just a tool. AI is a very advanced tool, right? Uh, the problem is these tools are very powerful, and if they are not well used, they can shape societies. They can drive us all mad. They can create societies of master and servants. And I think we don't want to live in a society like that. And that's it, I think. Um, so here again, it goes to the basic human values, right? Integrity, um, honesty. So eventually, we need to ask if we are not losing these values, because if we are losing in these values, we are in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because the utilization of the tools will be always misused. The tools will be always misused.
Optimized, huh?
So in the end, it goes to the human. You see, the human, the values, the health of the leaders, how corrupt or not they are, and this kind of things again. I think. Um,
Do you think we will find those values, or are closer in touch with those values in the near future, in the future, or do you think we're going to stray away from it and we need to abruptly change the way we think about society and economy to not get strayed away too much?
Yeah, we have a lot of pressures, and the problem is this: pressures. We humans need hope, and hope is in the future, right? Hope is in the future, is not in the present. I have hope into the future. I need to project. Humans have an inherent need to project into the future because we have dreams. Nowadays, we have too much pressures. We have tensions between the big powers. We have the environmental threats that seems that we don't have really a solution, and unconsciously, I think, is creating a lot of trouble and taking out hope on a global scale, and this is very serious. So, I think we are living very complicated moments. To be sincere, and even these wars and these tensions might be symptoms of what is going on. We are a lot of people in the world. We want to live. Everyone wants to be rich. Everyone wants to live, big life. If everyone lives like the Europeans, the world cannot stand. Not possible, right? So, but the others also have right. If we want to be honest, unless we downgrade the way we live and show the way and say, see, because the others also have the right. The Chinese and the Indians also have the right if they have the ability to live our standards, right?
Yeah. That's what's happening. They're like lagging behind. Their technology is maybe not on the point where we are at now, and they are not willing to maybe take the same steps as we are at this point, maybe.
Yeah, there's different levels of development. I also think that, for sure.
And then we're not even
but
talking
they are
about
buying cars. They are buying cars. They are constructing houses. They are start to consuming like us, in a way, and they have the right to that. Now we need to, if we keep promoting a life that is materialistic, very materialistic, and we evaluate ourselves by our success, our materialistic success, seems like nothing is enough. You have a house, and then you want always a bigger house, and then you will compare with your friends, and if your friend has a bigger car, you will want a bigger car, and it's a never-ending story. And if everyone, yeah, no, sorry, no, that's it that I want to say. Just
No, well, I think it's very important that we teach, or like that we learn to live less like extravagantly. I think going back to like, oh, don't consume and everything will be right, will be okay. I don't think that's the way either. I think we should also like invent technologies and invent stuff that helps also the developing countries that are going to the same thing as us. Because who are we to say to them, like you said, like, oh, don't do that because we did that and that sucks. That's like we need to find solutions. And just saying like, oh, let's just not consume anymore. That's like, then everything still fucks. Like let's. I think it's two-way. I think it's we should reduce our consumption, but also we should like use our progression in technology and then our advancement to invent new stuff to help it. But we're going a bit off track now.
No, I think I want to add to that we cannot really say to other countries or other developing countries like, hey, you should not do that. I think we need to be the example for them, economic acceleration or whatever, and they will come to the same conclusion, I think, and that's where we want, but that's where we are now, and I think we kind of lost, like you said, the hope or the belief in a future that will work for us all. And importantly enough, we need to start believing, I think, again. I know I lost my belief somewhere along the way for a future that will be better than what we are now projecting.
But because a lot of the people think that like we're gonna solve it by negativity, by just blaming what we did and just like, oh, we suck, fuck you. That's all. Like, this is not gonna help.
No.
You have to think forward. You have to have hope. Have to invest in a better future instead of just wailing in your suffering. Just, oh, we suck. And you go sit in the corner and cry.
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna solve anything.
True, absolutely true. I also think that. Yeah. So, how we can do it? How we can, right? How we can.
That's a whole
I don't
other
know.
pair of sleeves, or how do you say it?
That's for next week.